Hey everybody, this is Gunnar Stoffer again. Yeah, I did get to talk to Adam, but we didn't talk about doing the fan fiction, so oh well. Oh, in the meantime, I'm gonna do chapter 3 of Chasing in the Wind. Jeez, it's really hard to find a decent adult Scootaloo image, but I think yeah, I found an image that you probably will that you'll definitely find funny. I mean, since it is the clop part, then yeah, it actually goes well with this. So, well, anyways, this is chapter 3, Unleashed. You got to bed without saying another word to Scootaloo. Now you lay in your bed with the eerie white of the full moon filling the room. It figures you decided to sleep much earlier than normal to try to relieve some of the stress on your body. But now, when you should be asleep, you can be more awake. You lay there for what seems like an eternity before you decide to get up. The light filtering in through the windows illuminates the small apartment well enough for you to see as you wander into the kitchen. A quick flash of your horn and the fridge door flies open, illuminating the room further. Intent on finding something to help coax your sore body back to sleep. You rummage through the shelves and find yourself quite thoroughly disgusted with some of the things you find. Though you push those things further back and move the good food towards the front. Those rumbles turn to clean out the fridge. After all, at one point, a low noise akin to a whimper perks your ears, but you write it off as yet another of your roommate's foibles. Or foibles. I don't know. After fully rearranging the cooler's contents, you settle on a nice warm glass of milk to help lull you off to sleep once again. Finishing off your glass, you pace the carton back into the fridge and close the door. The room sinks into inky darkness as you do so. Unable to see to put your dirty glass in the sink, you decide to leave it on the counter and begin to stumble back to your room. When you pass onto the living room, you pause for a moment and to let your eyes get adjusted. As you wait in the darkness, the shrouded silence is broken by a sniffle followed by a repressed feminine sob. You immediately freeze, standing stock still and holding your breath. Finally, your eyes lock on the form of a certain orange Pegasus with her face buried nearly completely in the cushions of your couch. Quietly, you try to slink past her and nearly make it to the hallway before your hoof collides with the table just to the side of the entrance. As the resounding thud echoes its way through the room, you let out the breath you were holding. And spinning around. You were just in time to catch a view of the orange mare's face pop up over the edge of the couch. Her momentary look of surprise is quickly replaced by one of unabashed anger as her eyes lock with yours. Uh-oh. How long have you been there? She spits, jumping over the couch. As she lands, you could swear you see her flinch and lift one of her hoofs from the ground. As she advances on you, all your mind can process is the sudden urge to keep your distance from the seething mare. Thus, you back away onto your bedroom, but much to your chagrin, she doesn't stop following you as you pass into the one bit of sanctuary you thought you had. Soon your flank bumps against the wall, and with nowhere to go, Scootaloo is right up in your face in no time. You didn't see anything, got that? Her voice is dripping with venom, and she jabs a hoof into your chest with each of her last two words. In the moonlight, you could see the remnants of hastily wiped tears below the mare's lavender eyes. It's then that something you've wanted to say for years come out. As you reach your hooves around her neck, you say, "I'm sorry, Scootaloo. Ever since you have grown up, your nightmares always ended with the screams of your childhood friend as she fell to what you thought would be your death. You fell for the little filly all those years ago, and to see that you didn't still harbor these feelings now would be a terrible lie. Even with how she treated you, you still believe that same filly is in there. Your train of thought is broken when you're roughly shoved up against the wall. You don't get to say that," she shouts, tears rolling in her eyes once more. The way the moonlight shimmers off her wet lavender eyes is mesmerizingly beautiful, though you feel terrible for thinking that. "Please don't cry, Scoots." Your sentiment gets you thrown down onto your bed, where the mare's foreheads shakily wrap around your neck. You can hardly breathe, lying there with the seething mare looming over you, even though her hooves seem to want to choke the life out of you. She doesn't. Though it does make the moment any less stressful that is until something you never expected to happens. Scootaloo pushes her lips down onto yours so hard that your teeth nearly smash together. A couple of cool droplets splash against your cheeks as her eyelids shut, displacing the well to tears. The warmth of her silken lips against yours is amazing, but it all ends too quickly in an attempt to keep up the wonderful embrace. You try to lean up and keep your lips pressed to the orange mare. Though she reminds you very quickly of the situation you're in. Her hooves press against your throat, cutting off life-giving blood and oxygen, and she glares at you, sending a cold shiver down your spine as pressure builds in your head. A moment later, she relents, and you gasp for breath. Before your burning lungs can catch up with your racing heart, her lips are against yours again. Scootaloo immediately takes advantage of your gaping mouth, shoving her tongue in. With your body still deprived of oxygen, you take in large gulps of air through your nose. The scent of cinnamon tickles your nostrils as you do so. At first, her tongue passes along the inside of your lips and along your teeth. But when you regain your senses, you catch her off guard and run your tongue along the crevice on the bottom of her warm muscle. She shivers momentarily, and then she forcefully shoves her tongue against yours and push them both into the back of your mouth. Kiss after kiss comes like this, with every move you make being quickly and roughly denied. Somewhere in the midst of this, Scootaloo has climbed up onto the bed and is now straddling your stomach. One by one, her hooves move up into your mane. The orange mare retracts her face from yours with her top lip firmly grasped between hers. An audible pop fills the room as her flesh reaches the end of its elasticity and snaps back down into your teeth. Breathing heavily, you open your eyes only to see a slight smile on Scootaloo's face. Then when you reach up a hoof to play her mane, that look vanishes and is replaced once again with a scowl. Her hoof bats yours away before she slaps you across the face, hard. Instinctively, you cover the battered portion of your face with the same hoof you had tried to romantically run through her mane. Running your tongue over the side of your cheek, a metallic taste overpowers the lingering taste of cinnamon. You open your mouth to protest, but the dominant mare presses her face up against you once more. This kiss is softer and slower than the others, almost apologetic. You try to reciprocate the mare's affectionate kiss by running your tongue along the bottom of hers, and just like last time, her whole body shivers. Afterwards, her hips begin to move ever so slightly back and forth. From this, you become acutely aware of a wetness building in the fur of your stomach. The tickling of her magenta tail across your own excitement makes you shiver nervously. Okay, it said it was either pink or magenta. I mean, I know they're both the same thing, but you know. But I'm still going with the fuchsia hair color. Knowing full well that you're wearing a smug smile, you crack your eyes open in an attempt to look upon the eager mare. As your eyes lock with hers, the ones that you expected to be firmly closed, not alluringly half-lidded, the look of happiness fades from her face, and she pulls away mid-kiss, sitting up straight. Lifting herself to her hocks, she spins around on top of you. She looks down at your exposed excitement, and the resultant snide laugh cuffs you deeply. She shuffles forward on her hocks, dragging her tail across your face every inch of the way. When she is positioned over you, she uses a forehoof to get everything in alignment. Your mind wants to cry out when the most sensitive area of your body presses against her. The warmth coming from her is unbelievable. But after a few long moments like this, you get the feeling something is wrong. You can feel her body shake, but not in the same way as earlier. You raise a hoof, reaching for the only part of her body you can get from your position. Softly, you run it down her leg, from her thigh to where her leg meets the bed. As you begin to run it back up, her free forehoof swats it away and pins it to the bed. After that, she pushes her hips downward slowly. The pressure on your member builds steadily until all at once the pressure vanishes and you slide into her. A gasp escapes your lips as the staggering sensation of her warmth envelops you. Where your noises are those of pleasure, Scootaloo lets out a pained whimper as her body slumps over forward. Though her foreheads catch her before she can fall completely over, a warm liquid rolls down the bottom of your shaft, and out of instant you begin to pull out. Stop, she says in what could best be described as a yelling whisper. Are you alright, Scoots? After a tense moment where the only sound in the room is your heaving breath, she responds with forced bravado. Fine. In the thick silence that follows, your mind tries to make sense of the situation. Admittedly, it was a strange time for introspection, but this is the first chance you've really gotten since Scootaloo first attacked you. And since then, everything she does would make you think that she truly does hate you. Do ponies do these things with ponies they hate? As her hips slowly begin to move downward, your concentration is shattered. With every inch that you slide inside of her, the pressure of her velvety walls against your bare skin seems to increase tenfold. After what almost feels like forever, her flanks rest against your groin, and you can already feel her muscles clenching around you in an almost hypnotic way. The athletic orange mare's breathing has already shifted to long, powerful breaths as she sits fairly motionless on top of you. You wish that you could see her face right now or know what she's thinking. Not knowing why she's decided to take this big of a leap with you is, even now, when you're buried completely in her, scary. Ever since you saw her this morning, your cult-head crush came back with a vengeance, and you're excited, in more ways than one. That you get to do this with her, but to say this was truly what you wanted from her would be a dead lie. A bit of uncertainty gnaws at your mind. Maybe she's just using me for a cheap thrill. Pop a virgin's cherry while being a total meal. Yeah, it'll be fun. You raise your forearms to grab her just above the hips, fully ready to pull her off of you and tell her to get the hay out. She quickly ruins your plans by prying your hooves away and firmly pinning them with her own. Her hooves move slightly, searching for better purchase on you, and once she's satisfied, she begins to rock her hips back and forth while lifting herself off of you ever so slightly. The view is nearly as good as the pleasurable sensations that shoot through your body. As she goes, her body grinding against yours. Her flowing magenta tail is raised high enough for you to easily see your pink flesh slide into hers. A sheen of shiny liquid encompasses every inch of your member as it glides, seemingly effortless into her tight depths. During one particularly spirited repetition, Scootaloo manages to slide all the way up your length before plunging you back into her. But during this, you watch two darkly colored streaks of liquid roll down into the forward fur of your groin. When your eyes see what they are go wide, as your heart seems to beat even faster than its already racing pace. In the fur around your cult head, a ring of dark red liquid rests, disappearing behind the mare's orange flank as she even now pushes your member deep into her. Scoot. Your voice trails off into a long groan of a wave of pleasure that makes your leg twitch, washes over. Is this blood? She doesn't answer for long enough that even in your brain's hazy, addled state, you worry. With her hooves still pinned to the bed, you lean up, draping your head over Scootaloo's shoulder, Though what you see isn't reassuring. Tears run over matted orange fur. She turns her head away just as you whisper through heavy breaths, "Scoots, please, talk to me." As if in response, the gyrating mare slows, but she doesn't say a word. Despite the tension between you, the slow, simple up-down motion of Scootaloo's hips draw another groan out of you. Doing something that you've always wanted to do, you bury your nose deep into her soft magenta mane and maybe even nibble on it. Just a little. It doesn't have some magical berry scent or some ridiculous like that. It simply shares a sweaty, musky aroma that pervades the room. Her body shivers when you lightly tug on her mane, and it's the first time that she's enjoying this intimate act at the least. In her one moment of weakness, you manage to pry one of your forearms free of grasp, and you do the one thing you can think of right now. You raise your hoof to her face, push it around yours, and firmly plant your lips against hers. Her lavender eyes, shut through all of this, flutter open and lock with yours. Even as your tongues dance with each other and your bodies soft as skin meshes in the most wonderful way, her glimmering lavender pores bore into and your gaze stays locked on her. The tickling pressure that that's building in the pit of your stomach is only the footnote on your mind. Because at that moment you first see the softness in her eyes that utterly betrays her foul mood. All the pressure builds. Your free hoof runs through her mane, over her shoulder and down to her leg. It finally comes to a rest on her thigh, drawing little circles on her cutie mark. This coaxes a soft throaty moan from the now receptive mare. Her vocalization brings that immensely pleasant pressure to the forefront of your mind. You try to pull back and speak, but Scootaloo presses forward, keeping her mouth firmly against yours. Still, her entrancing eyes keep you from moving your head too far, lest you lose sight of such beauty and it vanishes without a trace. Scoot, is all you can mumble from around the soft forcefulness of her tongue before that building bubble of pressure seems to pop. Your eyes try to close as your entire body shudders time and again, but you fight to keep them open. Scootaloo's eyes go wide and her cheeks flush brightly as the first jets of hot liquid gush into her. Smiling into the kiss, she continues to rise up and slide down your member with each wave of mind-erasing pleasure washes over you. When the ecstatic onslaught finally ends, you collapse backward onto the bed. A sticky trail of saliva follows you down, linked from the orange mare's lips to yours. As you pant heavily, Scootaloo finally stops pumping her hips, and she slowly rises up, pulling inch after inch of you out of her. You squeak as your still very sensitive head slides out of her body's tight grasp. With a noisy splat, you finally come free of her. And for a few moments, she rubs her wetness all over your oversensitive member, drawing a few more groans and moans out of you. As you reach down to run her hoof over her body, she climbs off the end of the bed and begins to slowly walk towards the bathroom. Her tail is widely cocked to the side, allowing you to see a trail of gooey liquid roll down her hind leg, and her hips sway gently back and forth. It's an image you sure won't forget in a hurry. A cone of bright light emerges from the bathroom just after she disappears through the doorway. You roll onto your side and wait for her to come back out. A wacky post-coital smile plastered all over your face. You're not sure how much time she spent in there, but sometime before she emerged, her heavy eyelids treacherously slid close, ushering you off into a relaxed sleep. Damn. Damn. Me 453 EWCD VXCB. So, how's that whole one-shot thing working out for you? 4 Pony. Getting partially raped by an emotionally distraught Scootaloo. And she always seems so nice. I'm still hella confused. That bitch be crazy. Yeah, exactly. I had a great open yet closed ending on the original that worked well, and it had a sweet, albeit a bit dirty feel to it. Of course, I couldn't stand for that. I had to expand. I had to branch out. I had to be completely insane. And that's from Argawayan, the author of the story. Bladed Rose. Okay, seriously confused. The overall mindfuckery going on here is just great. Scoots obviously has a thing for him. Otherwise, she wouldn't have caught him and gotten injured doing it. He has a thing for her, duh, and is deeply sorry about what he did. She's still pissed about to push her off a cliff. He's pissed because he let him to deal with RD while he was in a compromised position. She's conflicted. He's conflicted. Now we just need a third wheel to make everyone go. What the fuck? Looking forward to the next installment. Hold on. Huh. The fuck goes. And then there's an image of Jackie Chan going, "The fuck is this shit?" I just feel like posting pics, nothing else. Carry on. And then there's a picture of a guy hugging two guys in Minecraft skins. Argawayan's image to the fuck with is an image of Pinkie Pie crying. More seriously, it's the Minecraft Riker. Most seriously, I hate it when people don't like when I write. On a less emo kid note, the questions will all be answered in the fourth and final chapter. Kiva, will you make something like this with Apple Bloom and Sweetie though? I don't know. I mean, he could do that, but I haven't seen his other stuff. So, Bran Flakes sends an image. It's kind of like a mashup of all the famous like you know, troll faces. I don't know what my feelings are doing. So yeah, we pretty much got a bit of angry sex from Scootaloo and more or less me. So well, anyways, that was chapter 2 and I mean part 2. So anyways, yeah. Now if you excuse me, I'm gonna go find a job. So Game All 211 signing off.